Hello, dear folks. Welcome to the show, Jack Chow on the East-West Show with G&E TV. Recently, quite recently, there's lots of controversy, even lawsuits being talked about over the issue of gem coins.
Yeah.
Gem coin, when I first heard about it, I thought it was something like you put in a pocket or wallet. Later I learned, because you know me, my audience know me, I'm a man of no money background. Anything that regards to money, I know nothing about, right? I'm totally in the dark of it. I'm benighted of money, that's it. You know, doing this job, it pushes you to learn, right? Every day, every single day, you try to learn something new. As I was doing the preparation of this show, I got a chance to learn about some kind of, by a certain extent, about the virtual, call it money, call it currency, quote unquote. To the case though, I know it is still premature.
Right.
We don't know yet. We don't know where it's going yet. However, to get to the point, to get to the knowledge of it, I always use every chance, every opportunity as a moment to learn. And I do want to do that to my audiences if you could learn something, so that I have brought my good friend, a big friend. In terms of money, he's a big friend, Mr. Steve Huntley here. Steve Huntley of Huntley Financial Consultant Group, to come to, well, to the light of it.
Right. Yeah.
You're welcome to the show, Steve.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Jack. Good to see you again.
My pleasure. My huge pleasure. What have you heard about the case, please?
Okay. The information that I get is pretty much public information, but it kind of happened over a series of time. Recently, it's come to a head because of the situation at the end of September, with the federal government exercising their right, their force. But the gentleman in China we came up with they're calling it a Ponzi scheme. You know what a Ponzi scheme is?
Yeah, Ponzi scheme, yeah.
You know what a Ponzi scheme is?
To cheat, right?
No, a Ponzi scheme is a scheme where the people, you put money into kind of like a funnel. You put money into the top of the funnel, okay, and then the people at the bottom of the funnel get paid, but you have to have money keep going into the funnel. If you don't, as the money starts to trickle down through the funnel, it gets siphoned off. If you look at the situation in recently, there was not only one company, but there was 13 what they call shell companies where the money was being moved around. So that's what a Ponzi scheme is. In its simplest form. So if money's not coming in the door to pay off the investors at the top from cheating investors at the bottom, then the whole thing collapses, and that's kind of what's going on.
To put it in the simple language for better understanding, is this something that I convince you to give me your money? And in turn, you are forced to look for the third one to give you the money, and it goes on, and you're third person to go to ask for the fourth one to get the money in, and all the third people's money, your money, and everybody's money comes to me, my end, and then I absorb the money.
That's
Am I right?
That's right.
Is that the thing?
Right. So that you have to have a steady stream of people putting money into this in order for you, one of the first people in line, to get paid.
I see.
But what happens is the mathematics catch up with you, because now the 10th person in line wants to get paid, and there's not 11th or 12th or 15th or 20th person to pay.
I see.
So,
I see.
And it collapses.
Oh, the thing is that unless it is going on and on and on, the 10, 11, the hundreds, 101st, and then 1,000, 1,001st, go million first. Somewhere, somehow, if the thing stops moving, people say, I need to get paid.
That's right.
And then there is no money to pay.
That's right.
Because the money comes in only one direction, from downstream up.
That's right.
I see. All right.
Now, also, as the money's coming in the door, and certain people at the top are being paid, money is being siphoned off. taken away by putting into other bank accounts or what they call a shell company or
I see. I see.
so that the people who are running the scheme are stealing from it, essentially.
I see. How come the federal government got involved this late? Now, instead of any time earlier?
The federal government, well, from what I read, the essentially the Securities and Exchange Commission of China was very much aware of this, and they were really after the gentleman, or the two gentlemen who were doing this, and those two gentlemen went from China to Thailand, and they started it up again, and then the people in Thailand, the government in Thailand, saw this coming, and then they moved their operation to Southern California. So a lot of times the government has vast resources. The Securities Exchange Commission, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and especially the Internal Revenue Service have great resources, but one of these Ponzi scheme people has to make a mistake. And when they make a mistake, it kind of sends up, like a term, a red flag. Something's happened. And in this case, what happened was, one of the gentlemen who was running the scheme tried to move $7.5 million from Bank of America to a Chinese bank. To move that much money, it went overseas. That sets up a big red flag. Where's the money
Brings
coming?
up the alert.
Yeah. Because the bank is responsible. So the bank would say, we're going to, hey, what's going on here?
What's going on here?
The law says you're only allowed to move $10,000. So now you got $7.5 million you're going to move.
I see.
We don't know.
All right. Let's back up a little bit, Steve.
Okay.
Suppose this mistake doesn't happen. Right? Suppose the thing will keep on going forever. Right?
Okay.
Can we say this thing is safe? This thing is legal?
No, it's illegal. It's illegal to do a Ponzi scheme.
It is legal or illegal?
It's illegal.
Illegal.
Ponzi scheme is strictly illegal.
Illegal.
Yeah, because you're on many fronts. But eventually, what happens to all Ponzi schemes, the history of Ponzi schemes, like Bernie Madoff and other types of people, eventually somebody doesn't get paid, and when somebody gets paid, they get angry. They tell their attorney or whoever.
They blow the whistle.
They blow the whistle.
Okay. In other words, just assume. I'm doing this with a huge assumption here.
Right.
That nothing goes wrong. It keeps on rolling and rolling and rolling forever, for 10 years, 20 years, forever. Is that legal or
It's illegal.
It's still illegal.
Still illegal.
Still illegal.
Yeah, because it's against the law. It's against the law to essentially. It's called selling an unsecured security. In other words, it's not a registered security. It's not a security like a stock or a bond.
But this company was registered. Why in the first place would the government give the permission for people to run such business?
I don't know. Maybe they were very good at presenting themselves as a legitimate company.
I see.
And the government maybe didn't do their due diligence. The basis of this company is the fact that there were supposedly 2 amber mines, one in Dominican Republic, one in Venezuela, worth $50 billion.
Yeah, they're talking about the Dominican some kind of a stone, gemstone. Ember, right?
Yeah.
The ember stone, the thing, the ember.
Right.
Okay, now, suppose that thing is there, and people do get in, and there's constant money coming into the funnel, your description. So this thing will never bust themselves. So you're saying that the law would not allow them such practice in the first place. Am I right?
It's illegal to do that, because what they were doing is essentially selling a security. And when you sell a security, okay, which is a stock or a mutiny or something like that, it has to be registered. In other words, you'd have to go to the state of California or the federal government and actually register it. When you start selling things like a stock in a mine that's not registered, then that's illegal.
Okay, in that case, what is the essential differences in between this Ponzi scheme and the stock exchange. For example, a company, my company, for example, call it the Jack Workshop.
Right.
Work that way. One day I go public.
Right.
I have one desk, one phone, one computer, and one chair, one office. That's it. Right. Where's the totals? For example, $5,000. That's it. And then, well, next day it goes to 10,000. A month later it goes 20,000, something like that. So how did the money come? And the way the money come in, the way I do business with to get my $5,000 into $20,000, is this action legal?
You start a business, as long as you start a business, you have a business license, if you have investors, they have to be registered. You have to go before the Securities Exchange Commission and show all your information. There are a lot of one-man businesses out there. There are.
All right.
I know that are doing business legitimately, legally, above board. They have licenses. They're being taxed.
All right.
But you got to let the Internal Revenue Service know that you're doing this, you know, and you have to be auditable. In other words, if I walk in the door as a CPA or
all right. Okay.
So yes, it can be done. I'm not saying that people can't do this.
But at the end of the day, I have only a $5,000 worth of value there.
Right.
And how come it could be 20,000? Where does the extra money come from?
I'm not sure I understand your question.
Now, let me back it again, right?
Okay.
Now, I started my own company that has a total value of 5,000. Right. When I go public, someday it turns out to be $20,000. Right. So where did the extra money come from?
When you go public, which means that you go through a stock exchange and you offer your stock to the public, you have been cleared by the Securities Exchange Commission, which is the federal government. Okay, and you have to every quarter, you have to produce a document that I'm not going to go into
that indicates the growth.
That indicates the growth of it. Okay, so you're public
of my business.
So you're pretty transparent. You have
and
to
people
be fairly
see some hope. People see some hope with my indication of growth.
Right.
Say that given the guy 5 more years, will probably go $1 million instead of $20,000. Right. So people buy their hope.
Right.
People gambling, are they? Or are they
I would
not?
prefer to think that people have a high tolerance for risk. So they find the Jack works, and they think, wow, Jack has got a dynamic business.
Well,
I'm going to invest in that business.
They do the blackjack
with a risk. Now, if Jack goes bankrupt, we took the risk, and Jack went bankrupt.
All right. Okay.
That happens.
All right. Okay. All right. My dear audience, today is one of the very, 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 very rare moments in a blue moon. Once in a blue moon, I get a chance to touch into something that I totally have no interest about. Honestly, I kind of was pushed by the controversy to go into the study about it. In learning, I have my good friend, Stephen Huntley of Huntley Financial Consultant Group, to come here to share his thoughts, share his knowledge with us. I use this for my chance of learning, and I recommend that as a chance for you probably, if you happen to be in the like-mindedness like with myself, right? So let's take a very short moment now. When we come back, we'll stretch the issues, the 2 issues, to see the difference. And I start to see a little bit.